old habits of picking up the slack for a player who is less proactive.
Right.
Will
Yeah,
make
and I
you do
just
that.
mean
You could be
just
at a table with a
communicating, just how
proactive
I
guy and
communicate.
another guy. And but I'm saying it would be so nice. I think this is one of the revelations when you start playing in the style with people that really just pick up and go.
Right.
Then you don't have to flip that switch in your mind and go, oh, I need to narrate their portion of it because they're sitting here.
I mean, here's an example. Let's say we're playing Hard Boiled, right? This is our new version of this game.
Yeah.
And I just say to you, it's 1956. It's been a heat wave of record numbers going on 2 weeks now. And
Heck, you want to play it?
Well, we can go for a little while if you want. If you want to, we can play a little bit.
No,
even if it's just a few minutes. Yeah. So you have your character. Do you know your character?
Actually, I'm on my phone now. I can't pull it up.
Let me pull it up.
Just give me his basic stats, and then
all you really need to know is again, this was meant to be a test play, folks. So let's pull up your character. Your character's name is Demetrius. Whoops, where's he at? Oh no, I've lost your character. Oh, here he is. Demetrius the Greek Kapololis. He's a 61-year-old ex-prize fighter. His respect score is 4. His guts are 0. His wits are 0. His action is 2. His mojo is 2. His wealth is 4. You work at Jerry's Gym as a boxing trainer, working on young hopefuls. Your one skill is boxing. You take public transport or walking or buses. Your only weapon is fists. Your outfit is sloppy. Your residence is a trailer down by the pier, seaside. And your lone contact is your 34-year-old daughter, Angie. She is unmarried, no children. So that's your character. Okay? And so, I started out very simply.
Okay, wait a second. I was writing everything you said,
Yeah.
so some of it was in shorthand.
That's okay.
On my respect is 4.
Yeah.
Can you go over my? I know wits is 0, mojo 2, wealth is 4. What was the other one?
Action is 2, and your guts is 0. Right.
Okay, guts.
So, guts is how you avoid injury or damage. Of course,
And
wits
action
is your
is
brains.
Yeah, I got 0.
Your mojo is your luck. It's how you go through the world. Kind of mojo. Respect is your level. Basically, it's a combination of prestige and repute is your respect.
Gotcha.
And then your wealth is a 4, which means you're doing pretty good. You make a pretty good wage training boxers and, taking a percentage of their purse.
Gotcha. But what's the action again?
Action's 2. And action is everything else. Punching,
Gotcha.
shooting, driving, jumping is action. So anytime you take a physical action, it's action.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
And you said mojo is exactly.
Mojo is basically your luck. It's how you carry yourself. It could be your charisma. It could be your luck. It could be your mojo, man.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
You got a pretty good mojo,
I'm good.
Right? I mean, for a basic character. All right, so we're in 1956, Battleton Bay. This is basically a seaside large metropolis in 1956. You have seen newspaper headlines recently, as well as every time you're listening to the radio, you're hearing how people are looking to the skies because there's more and more UFO sightings being reported every night. That is something that seems to be the only thing in the news outside of that is this oppressive record-setting heat wave. And this heat wave will potentially affect your gut checks, etc., as it is very dangerous, especially on a 61-year-old man, right? You have been training Alphonse, your young middleweight. You have high hopes for this kid. His brain has not been in it today. His footwork's bad. His sparring partner's got the best licks in. And at this point, he's getting water over by the back locker room. And you see him approached by Tommy Condolato, a known mobster, someone you know likes to rig fights, likes to take advantage of up-and-comers.
Okay, I'm straight walking over there. I got a little gimp to my leg as I pull up on the scene of the potential crime. Camalato, is that his name? That's your name, right?
Yeah, he's wearing a fedora. He
What can I do you
he
for?
pats your boxer on the shoulder, and kind of nods him to go
You're patting
away.
my boxer, Alfonso.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm making a a gesture to back to the ring.
Okay.
Yeah, you climb back up in there.
Okay. So he throws his towel over his shoulder. Doesn't look you in the eye as he passes, but heads over and is climbing into the ring. As Condolato says,
I'll watch him for a second before I turn him around to Condolato.
Dim, how are you? You got a good young boxer there.
Yeah, I have a good young boxer.
Yes, that's what I said. Fine, fine.
Can I ask what you're approaching him about?
Oh, I'm just saying hi. I like to come down to the gym, and we like to hang around here and see what's going on.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
You should talk to me first. He's my boxer.
Talk
Anything
about
that goes
what?
into this gym is mine. Approach me. You're not here for merrymaking. Super friend, you've got business. You've got business with the boy. I'm looking in his eye.
Takes off his fedora and takes out his hanky. He's in a nice suit, patting himself down. He's sweating profusely, as probably everyone in here is, because it's a heat wave. And he's holding his fedora now in front of him.
I throw him the towel off my shoulder.
Yeah, he grabs it and he towels himself and over his. He goes, well, the boss likes to keep tabs on all the up and young boxers. He likes to throw his nickel around a little bit.
His weight around.
Well, he likes to gamble on the horses and gamble on the boxers.
I'll lean into him a little bit. He needs to speak with me. You don't talk to my boy.
Let's make a mojo check here. Add 2 to your die 12.
The 7.
Okay. Yeah, he takes a step back, drops the towel on the floor, puts his fedora on, fixes it, and he said, I'll let him know that you are open to negotiate on behalf of your boxers. With that, good day. And he turns on his heel and he's out the front door of the gym. Or he's headed out the front door.
Okay, as soon as he walks out and the door shuts, I turn around and walk back over there to the ring. Mm-hmm. Alphonse, get him. And he's in there boxing with the other the trainer.
Right.
All right. I'll stand there and eye him and see how he reacts if he's making contact with me. I'm going to keep calling his name and pointing out what he's doing. Lift your, keep your hands up. Okay. Keep your hands up. I'm going to keep it tight on him.
So let's make a wits check here real quick. This would be an average
0
difficulty.
All right, 6.
Yep. So you see he's paying attention. He's bringing his hands up as you coach him. He's doing these things. He appears to be, of course, he's a little lethargic. Probably you can assess the heat is a big reason why he's physically a little.
That's why I'm pushing him. I'm trying to piss him off to see if he looks at me and he gets angry with me quicker than he normally would, because if he's got other options from Mr. Coletto, right?
Yeah, he doesn't appear to lose his cool like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
okay, I'll keep at him for about 30 minutes before I back off a little bit.
Okay.
And feel a little bit secure about it. And I'll go into my room with the fan, cool off a little bit as I watch, with the instructions to keep at it.
Right. So you're watching from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he continues at this. The minute you're out of what he thinks is ringside, he's a little lazier, a little less inclined to give his best. He does avoid good shots from his sparring partner. You see it a couple of times. He'll kind of grab and clinch and hold the other boxer, but ultimately it's a pretty pathetic end of the sparring match, right?
Okay, I've grabbed a bucket of water,
Mm-hmm.
and when he's getting out of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
come on down.
Yeah.
Right? He's dropping his arms and he's tired. He gets down. I'll throw the bucket of water in his face.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay?
he jumps, but in a way it's refreshing as well. But he jumps.
Are you thirsty?
What is wrong with you? What's crazy or what?
Come here, boy.
Yep.
And I'll gesture toward the office.
Yeah, he's. Can we cut these gloves off? As he's following you to the office, he wants somebody to cut these gloves off. Your little trainer who follows you guys around for the gym is trying to get in front of him.
Do it quick, and then I'll go in the office. All right, and sit there waiting for him.
So
I'm
he
gonna light
stops
up my
outside the
cigar.
office while this guy cuts the gloves off, and then he comes in.
Cut the
Yeah,
tip off
what's
my
up,
cigar
Dan?
and lighten it up and whatever, and I sit behind there and I'm smoking my cigar. What's with Coletto?
You
I
know,
saw
man.
him trade words with him.
He just wants to know how I'm gonna
I
fare.
don't know nothing.
Well,
You tell me straight.
He wants to know how I'm gonna fare on Saturday night. Of course, I told him I'm gonna whip that kid. I told him put his money on me.
You ain't gonna whip him looking like you are outside,
It's just hot.
dropping your arms.
Coach, it's hot. You got to know that.
It's hotter in the ring. It'll be hotter in the ring on Saturday.
Yeah. He just wants to know if they can put their money on me, and I'm gonna win it for him.
They put their money on. Put their money on you, right?
Yeah, make a
So he's
mojo
sizing
check.
you up. He's sizing you up. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, make a mojo check.
8.
Okay. When he says that, he never looks you in the eye. When he talks about how he's going to whip the kid, and they want to know if they should put the money on him, he won't. He always looks away when he tells you that.
Put the money on you, boy. Look at me.
Yeah, what, Dim?
Right.
What?
Yeah, put the money on you. How much they want to put in your pocket?
Oh, come on, man. You know how this game goes.
I know exactly how it goes.
I got a girl. She's pregnant. I got to take care of her. There's no guarantee I'm going to get that purse Saturday night. They're guaranteeing me I get paid.
Get paid if you what?
Oh, come on, Dim. You've been there. We all know your story, Dim. We know you took a knee. You took a knee in your heyday. You know what I'm talking about.
At this, I jump up out of the chair and I push forward for me standing straight up, the desk will move
right
a little bit that I'm behind, and I reach across and grab him by the I grab him by the back of the neck and pull him in,
right,
keeping his head straight. Boy, you listen to me.
Right.
You may think you know what was going on with me in my heyday. Don't you ever speak to me that way. You stay away from Coletto. You hear me?
Well,
if you want to be a part of this gym, you don't have no dealings with him.
But even you said I'm not ready to fight that guy. You think
you get mixed up? You get mixed up with him. I don't want anything to do with you. You hear me?
Come on, Dim. Listen. If it would just be a little bit of
You're
money
on
for
thin
me and
ice
my
here,
lady.
boy. You're on thin ice here, and it's already hot enough. Don't break it through. If you want to make something for yourself, if you want to make something out of yourself, you don't deal with him. He's bad news. You hear me?
All right.
I don't want you a mile away from him. I don't want you a mile near him.
All right.
If he comes around, look at me. If he comes around again, you let me know. You hear me?
Well, I mean, they threatened me, though. Damn, you know that. You've been there.
Threaten you. How they threaten you?
I don't.
What they say?
I don't go down in the fourth.
Okay, I slam my hand.
They're gonna break
my
fingers,
fat,
right?
my fat meaty hand back down on the thing. They're gonna break your fingers. They're gonna break your fingers
I hope that's all they do.
if you don't go down.
In 4.
Yeah, they're looking to make a lot more money than they ever will give you, boy. All right, go shower up and get home to your girl.
All right.
You
He
stay
shakes
away
his
from.
head,
I'll handle this.
and he looks at you out of the corner of his eye. I'm sorry, Dim. Like, all right. And he heads out into the showers. Um, the gym's still pretty crowded. I mean, there's guys in here working out, practicing. Jerry owns the gym, and Jerry comes and goes. He also owns a restaurant where he takes. He's a bookie. He owns a restaurant. So the gym he pretty much leaves to you and Andy to lock up, run the gym when he's not around.
Okay.
So, but Jerry's gym.
But you said Jerry was here now?
No, he's not
Okay.
here now. But Adam, the little old man who helps you put on the gloves and
Yeah.
cleans up the place, mops, and kind of your athletic trainer, the guy that tapes him up, and he's
Hey, Adam, come here.
yeah,
I call him
and he's
over.
probably 58, a little younger than you, but he's in far worse shape. And he comes in, yeah, Dim, yeah,
Can you handle the place for a little bit?
oh yeah, Dim, anything you want.
Okay, I got a man to speak to. I slap him on the shoulder or whatever, like, good man, and turn around and lock up, will you?
Okay.
I head out the door. About what time is it today?
Well, whatever. I'll let you decide.
Midday.
I'll let you decide.
I'd say about 2:00. It's in the hot of the day. All right. The couple of fans
And
we
it
got
is
in the
hot.
place.
When you step out, it's like stepping into a furnace,
It's
man.
hot.
All right.
Okay. I'll look up, have almost second thoughts. You see me as I wipe my brow. And then I turn on my heel to head down the street to the restaurant. It's no more than a couple of blocks, but I'll make it. All right. So
Yeah.
this where Jerry usually.
Yeah, it's basically a corner dive, greasy spoon. They make hamburgers and chili, and there's always people seated at the bar, a couple people seated. But it's a typical old 1950s diner.
Okay. I walk in there and, hey, Susan, give me a water. And I sit down at the bar.
Okay.
Jerry in? I
Yeah.
had to play. See if he is.
Yeah, he's in the back. He's got visitors. She's chewing gum. She stops long enough, taking somebody's order to come by and pour you some water and a coffee, right?
Visitors, and I kind of do this, get her in close.
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like?
Well, one of them. It's Leroy Jones, and Leroy. Leroy is kind of a known tough. He's kind of the strong arm for some sharks, loan sharks. They like to, they send him around when people aren't been paying their bills. And he's got somebody with him, I don't know, but Leroy Jones is back there in his office with him. And she clicks her gum, blows a bubble and pops her gum.
This other fella, is he a suit?
No, he's he's wearing a jacket, but it's, an old fedora, but they're not nicely dressed.
All right. I lift the glass up and take a drink. Thank you, doll. Set it down. Stand up. And I make my way to the back.
Okay.
She walks on from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go at a corner to where I can see if his door's shut and pull up and see if I can hear anything.
Yeah, so as you step, past the kitchen into the hall, go back to his office, the back door, the storage and freezer area, you can see at the far end of the hall is a gentleman you don't recognize. He's standing outside the office, looking right at you as you kind of step into the hall. You can see the door is ajar, but it's been pushed shut enough that it's not standing wide open, and you can hear raised voices. You just can't make out what they're saying.
Okay. The
And you're
guy
staring
outside.
right down the hall at this guy that you don't obviously recognize.
Oh, the one I don't.
Right.
Okay.
This isn't
You're
Leroy
saying,
Jones, but you can hear voices in the office.
okay. Uh, and it's Ray's voices in the office, right?
Yeah. The door is ajar, but it's not completely shut, but it's not wide open. It's ajar. So you can even see maybe somebody moving around a little bit.
I do a little head jack toward him, and I just keep walking down there. Is he making any move?
Yeah, he kind of steps up as you start to like head down the hall toward the office. He like takes 2 steps out right in the middle of the hall, standing like you ain't going past me. You're not going to the office right now. And at that same time, you hear sirens outside roaring, lots of sirens like police cars, fire truck, something. Something's going down outside, uh, not far. Pretty
Okay.
loud.
I needed to speak to Jerry. There's something going on outside.
Jerry's busy with Leroy. Yeah, you come back now. This guy's probably 25 years old, about your height, maybe as muscular as you, but he's a young tough. Yeah.
Okay. At this point in time, I'm going to head and I do have the skill of boxing. So I'm going to go just, I'm going to uppercut his ass.
Okay. Make a roll here. With the sirens going, I mean,
I mean, he's cocksure. He's talking to an old dude, but he doesn't realize what's.
And there's obviously both of you are a little surprised to hear all these sirens outside. Something's going on in the block. So go ahead and make a roll. This is going to be an easy roll for you.
Dang, but I just rolled a 12. And my action is 2, so 14.
Okay, so let's take a look at the rules for this particular version of our game. Right. So again, in this particular set, you don't have health points. Oh God, where is there it is. You don't have health points. So they are, let's see here. He is a muscle. So, so his DV was easy. All right, I'm double checking. Right, so we just need to make, he does not get to make what's called a guts check, as he's not a character, which means he automatically takes the next level of damage. Whoops. And for him, in non-lethal damage, you can make this lethal, but you can't make lethal damage non-lethal, but you can make non-lethal damage lethal. He goes up to, for non-lethal, he goes up he's in pain. So currently he's suffering, now you rolled a 12, which is a crit. So
yeah,
not
I want to break his jaw,
but he is now wounded. He goes up 2.
All right, can I instantly break his jaw?
It knocks it might chip his teeth. He might actually spit a tooth out.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to uppercut him. I wanted to leave him with a little scar to realize.
He might bite his tongue, and he backwards spits blood. You see a tooth come out, and he knuckles up, and it takes a big haymaker for you. Make a roll. Remember, use your action, which is a 2. This is action. Against his 4. So you only got to beat a 4 with your +2.
Oh, it was 7.
Okay, so just you can describe how you duck it or block it or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I slip in again and do another uppercut.
Yeah, and that would
I'm back in like that.
Yeah, and again, you don't have to make another roll because ultimately he swung on you. You successfully. So that puts him up to injured. So he now is injured. Now at this point, it's going to take the fight out of him. So maybe you would have to describe how you injure him.
Yeah, I want to break his jaw.
Okay.
I want to crack that jaw with two uppercuts like that.
Okay.
Chin. I want him to hit his jaw and spiral back and hit the wall.
Okay.
To clear the door for me.
Yeah, he goes to a knee. He's clearly dizzy. Slumps back, slides down in the hall on his backside, holding his face with both. There's blood. He's lost a tooth. And at the same time, this is heard. Despite the sirens going on in the neighborhood, the door opens and you see Leroy, who's probably 6 inches taller than you. Big man, looking down. What the hell?
Okay. Now, at this point, I want to, after I knocked him out, I would get down on one knee to fish out any kind of weapon he had. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay?
Yep.
If I can pull out a pistol at that time.
Let's make a mojo check, see if he's carrying anything.
All right.
So if you can succeed at this mojo check, it's whatever you want it to be. If you fail, he's going to be... Oh, yeah. So what is it you pull from this kid?
Just the typical heater. It's,
okay.
Probably a revolver at this stage.
Okay. So you find that, pull that out of his drawers. Maybe it's got it stuck in the front.
Yeah, I'll look up at...
Leroy's standing over you about the time you pull this gun out.
Yeah, and I pointed up, back up. I'll stand up and back him up into the room.
Leroy throws his hands in the air, backs up.
I'm looking over his shoulder to see Jerry. Jerry, you in here?
Yeah, Jerry is nursing. It's like he's got his hanky out and he's wrapping his last 2 digits. Clearly, Leroy broke his last 2. Right,
Leroy, take a seat.
Yeah. So Jerry's sweating. He's whimpering a little bit as he's trying to tie his hanky around these broken fingers. He's sitting there. He looks up. Damn, what are you doing here? And Leroy says, "Look, old man, you don't know what you're doing."
I said, "Shut the hell up, Leroy. Take a seat."
Yeah. So he backs up. He looks around for a chair and plops down in his chair. Keeps his hands up. Dim.
Coletta sent you here?
Yeah,
Come on,
Jerry,
Leroy.
Jerry, he likes to gamble on the horses. He needs to pay up.
He needs to pay up. You ain't gonna get him to pay any faster breaking his fingers. He can't count his money that way. Can you, Jerry? How much you owe him, Jerry?
So while he's holding his hands up, when you say that, he points to his jacket pocket. And Jerry's whimpering, I paid him. He's got the money.
And caution. Now, is his fingers gone or just broken?
No, broken. He's just tied him up, to protect him.
Okay. You doing okay, Jerry?
Yeah, he's, his eyes are watering. Right? He's sweating profusely. Damn, you're only going to make this worse. Man, threatening Leroy. And you hear the kid in the hall moaning. You might glance over your shoulder. This kid's like crawling down the hall, moaning as he's holding his jaw, the other kid.
Yeah. Leroy knows what's good for him, don't you, Leroy? I turn around and look at him, and I'll lean in.
I do, but I also know what's bad for you, old man. And he smiles. You hear yet another set of sirens show up. They sound like they're right outside. You can see his office window looks out on the opposite side of the corner, right? Parking lot. And you can see a fire engine pull up and stop, and you can see them climbing out, and they're fighting a fire somewhere here.
Across the street?
Somewhere close. Not this building, but somewhere within this vicinity. They're fighting a fire, it looks like.
Okay. I hear a boy crawling under the thing. And that's when I turn around. I'll look this way, and I'll turn around and take that smoke wagon and right across his head, and try to knock him out. Leroy, that is, while he's sitting down.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Make an action roll.
Okay, that is 5 total.
Okay. So you think so, right? As you start to try to clock him on the top of the head. But he's quick. This big man is quick. And again, maybe you're tired, maybe you're old, but
maybe he's hot.
As you try to smack him with that, he bats that and ultimately twists your hand. So you're gonna suffer pain. So you've got your first wound. at this point, it's just described as
got me by the arm.
So he might have you by the elbow or something, twisting that gun toward the floor, right? And so we have your first non-lethal pain.
Okay. He's got me by the arm and twisting it. Mm-hmm. And it's the arm I have the gun in, obviously, right?
He's trying to make sure you point that gun toward the floor, and he's maybe putting pressure on your elbow joint. Strong. This is a big, strong man, but he's still seated. He has not gotten up. He caught you trying to hit him, and it's like he's putting pressure on that elbow, pushing the gun toward the floor.
Yeah. What I'll do is, whenever I'm swinging to hit him and he grabs my arm, pain, I'm going to take my foot and lift it up and put it on his chest to push him back off the chair.
Okay.
And to straighten my arm out as he's falling.
Okay.
And have that gun right in his face is my intent while he lands.
Okay.
If that happens.
Yeah. So you're not trying to shoot him, you're just trying to get away from him and point.
Well, I mean, like if he grabbed my arm like that and
right.
I'm going like that, I'm just lifting my foot up, kicking him backwards.
Right.
He'll fall backwards. I'm gonna kind of go with him or whatever, just step on him basically and have that gun right in his face.
Okay.
Trying to keep from falling myself.
So that's another action. That's an action check.
Yeah. Okay, that's 12 plus 2.
Okay, so again, you achieve that. You might cause a little pain by kicking him in the chest, but you pull free of the grip, and you got your foot in his chest, gun in his face. At about that time, you hear the firemen yelling and screaming, and then you hear a huge explosion, shatters the window of the office, rocks the building, sends you and him to the right. So something, in the building next door went up, exploded. So you're going to now suffer a wound. You're wounded, and so is he now. He's wounded. Jerry was closest to the window, so glass, everything. He's a bald guy in his mid-60s. Basically, he's going to catch glass in the bald head. He's going to be blown in his chair across the desk. Jerry appears to be at this point unconscious, and you can hear the firemen yelling, and they're wrestling with the fire equipment outside. Something blew.
I'm a bit shaken by this. Now, as far as my footing, how is because I got all my attention on Leroy. Right?
Yeah. I mean, both of you were kind of stumbled away from the window toward the wall, right? It would have been enough force to maybe ring your ears, glass, and stumble to the right a little bit.
Okay. I want to take hold of him and take a running through that glass. What floor are we on?
Oh, it's a diner, so everything's on one floor. It's just a diner.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Back office of an old diner.
Gotcha.
One story building.
Okay. Okay, glass everywhere. I'm injured too. I've got glass on me. It's raining down.
Well, you're wounded. So there's pain, wounded. You're not yet injured.
But he's still on the floor, right?
Yeah. And Jerry appears to be unconscious. Slid out of his chair on the floor.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to train my gun on Leroy. Mm-hmm. Get up. I'm going to start walking over toward Jerry.
Yeah. And you can see on Leroy's face, he's scared. Some shit just blew up. You can see where he's got glass stuck in him, a little blood. And so he's shaking. He gets up, dude, we got to get out of here, man. We got to get out of here. He's almost wants to, he's almost more scared of what just happened than the gun you're pointing at him.
I said, get up.
Yeah, he's up, and he's almost trying to get by you.
Okay, I'm pushing. Get Jerry up.
Yeah, he scrambles around. Let's make a, yeah, we're going to have to make a guts check here, sir, to force him, to get his attention enough to make him pick up Jerry.
Okay, I got the gun still trained on him as I'm saying like that.
Yeah,
all right,
that's a bonus. That's gonna be a bonus.
Okay, that's 8.
Yeah. So he starts to, like, he wants to get by you, sees the gun, hears what you say, and he grabs Jerry by the feet. He kind of pulls Jerry to him, and then picks him up, throws him over his shoulder in a fireman's carry, and he's trying to get past you out the door into the hall. You hear people screaming in the diner, and you can see the kid that you busted his jaw. He's at the far end of the. He's like stumbling out into the diner now, holding his as clearly, and you can actually see flames now whisking in front of the window that blew in.
I'm looking for Susan too. Now. I'm looking for Susan too.
Yeah. So as you pass down the hall and into the diner, she's screaming. People are running out. And you can now see through the windows.
The flames are coming in through the front, right?
No, this was the back where it blew. So you moved away from the flames that were spurting in the back window. So when you get out front, you can see police cars and another fire engine, and they're fighting a fire. It looks like above the diner, like the building next door, second story, something.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
The front of the building's fine. Nothing's happened here, but it blew in.
Okay, call him.
Yeah.
Call him for Susan. You know what I mean? If I see her, because the waitress or Susan.
Yeah, and she comes running over. She's kind of antsy and sweating and chewing her. She spits her gum out. Damn, what the hell? And she sees Leroy with Jerry. What's happened to Jerry?
Take him outside, Leroy. Take him to the police over there.
Yeah. So you see Jerry. He heads out as you're talking to her. Heads over to the fireman, or first fireman he can find, and kind of dumps Jerry in their lap.
Okay, I'm leading Susan out too and making sure everybody gets out of the place.
Okay.
And I'll kind of get out of there after I make sure that everybody's out myself.
Okay. And make an action check as real quick here. As Leroy starts to run down the street. Okay,
it's 9.
Okay, now, so you could, if you want to, you can apprehend Leroy, or you can let him run away.
Well, it's in front of everybody.
Right. He just dumped the body to a fireman and then was going to take off down the street. Away from all this, just run.
Okay. Well, obviously there's a position to where I can kind of block him off. I'm trying to block him off.
Okay.
And tackling. It's honestly what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can do that as he hands in the air and, let me get out of here, man. Let me get out of here. Look at this. And he kind of nods over, and you see the building literally that's adjacent to this diner, second story. It's on fire. The whole thing's burning. They're fighting this fire of the adjacent building. Something in that building exploded and blew the window of the backside of the diner in. But it's going.
Okay, I'm just walking him. I'm leading him over at gunpoint in the back to a policeman.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get to one I recognize that works the beat around my shop.
Yeah, that's a mojo. That's a hard mojo check.
Gotcha. Just looking over and no, total 4.
All right. You don't. None of these guys look immediately recognizable.
Familiar.
They're all young cops in uniform. They're trying to segregate people, get them away from this building.
They're all busy. They're all busy, but the one near to where Jerry is, I'm going to lead Leroy up. I got the gun to his back. It's going to be hidden a little bit to where nobody's going to be suspecting, but poking him toward the cop.
Okay. Yeah.
Getting his attention. Yeah. Officer.
Yeah, what? Get away from that fire. You guys shouldn't be there. Get over here. He's waving you toward him.
We're away from it. I got everybody out of the diner, just to let you know. But this this boy in here. Look over there.
Yeah.
I pointed to Jerry laying there. Broke his fingers. I put a stop to it right before this building exploded. What the hell happened anyway?
Right. He immediately looks at Leroy. Ah, Leroy, you've been strong arming again, and he turns Leroy around, cuffs him, puts him in the back of his squad car, or his old car. He says, Leroy, I tell you, man, it's all the time with you. He looks up. He goes, we don't know. We just got the call that the place was on fire. We don't know.
Okay, well, that man needs medical attention. I point to Jerry again.
Yeah.
And look at myself. Appears
yeah,
so
you
do
can
I.
see the fire guys have pulled him over. Some paramedic is treating his hand and is pulling glass, doctoring his wounds where he's got glass embedded in his face and from the explosion.
I said it appears so do I, and then I turn around and kind of just I pocket the gun.
Right. Okay.
But and I would have did that before it went down, but slipped the gun in there and turn around on my heel. It appears so do I. And I don't wait for anybody to doctor me, but I start walking off down there to my trailer down by the pier.
Okay.
Okay. When I get there, I want to break open a little bit of brandy and take a sip from that.
Okay.
And relax, try to piece everything together. What just occurred. Listen to the news.
Okay. So as you plop down, have a beer, your trailer's in good shape. Again, you live in a trailer down by the pier, but the trailer's a fairly new trailer. You make okay money, enough to have a nice trailer.
I don't spend a lot on my
Who knows what you do? Maybe you give a lot of your money to your 34-year-old daughter.
I got it buried. I haven't talked to her in a good while, but I got it buried in the sock drawer.
And as you relax, drink away your heat. And there's a couple of news reports later. They come on as you're lounging in your trailer, and you hear news reports about these more UFO sightings, and then you hear news reports about the fire just a few blocks from you in a building that exploded, and they give a description of a suspect, and they describe him. Be on the lookout for the suspect, and they describe perfectly you.
Okay, I shake my head and look at the beer I'm drinking and set it down. What the hell? And I walk over to the window and look out.
Right.
Just from a little paranoia. Maybe there's maybe there's police outside.
No, it doesn't appear as if anybody's looking for you.
They know where they are.
Just heard this report on the radio that they're looking for somebody who looks they described you basically.
I know, but I know Joe. He works the beat. You know what I mean? So now I'm a paranoid. He knows where I live. Hell.
Right.
He's. Oh, geez. So now I'm paranoid. And I got my money in a sock underneath my mattress. Yeah. Underneath my mattress. So, what the hell is this? That bastard's really trying hard to get me out of these. Get me out of the business.
Right.
How the hell can you? I don't know. I don't know how he could have worked that fast. I'm really paranoid now. So I get my money out from underneath my mattress and stow it away, and it looks like I need to take myself a little vacation. Is what I need to do.
Okay.
Because this is make myself scarce until this dies down. So
you're packing up, grabbing your money. You don't have any transportation. Your choice for your character.
Oh my God.
The choice for your character is walks or takes the public transit. That's your option as part of your character. Now that doesn't mean you're stuck with that, of course. You can obviously steal cars, buy cars, whatever. But
I want to take if I live by the pier, I'm gonna look for somebody to I got to know some people around here with a boat.
Okay.
And I want to go across to the other area.
So let's make one mojo check at 7.
All right.
This will determine a couple of things.
That's 11.
Okay, so yeah, you know of a friend here that has a trailer. There's a lot of trailers down here at this old
Yeah.
parking. It's like an old open beach by the pier. The pier is not very. It's not an industrial pier. It's probably not been used. You know, it's not where they're loading and unloading big ships. But you know somebody with a boat. But at the same time, you also are seeing. You know, at this point, maybe as you're headed down toward that individual who has the boat, you're seeing squad cars. You know, coming toward your neighborhood, a squad car.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make myself scarce, and maybe even go through alleys. But I'm trying to get to my friend. He has a little boat. Try to get me across the pier. I'm trying to get over to.
So tell me who this friend is.
Oh my God! I'm trying to. Okay, this friend is. This friend is Sam.
Sam.
And I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but we used to go out and fish a little bit and drink beer and whatnot in some lazy afternoons. But it's been a while. But I'm hoping he's there.
Yep.
I hoping he can ferry me across the bay. I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about anybody, but the only person comes to mind is Angie, and she hadn't spoken to me. She doesn't like me much at all.
Right.
Nowadays.
As you approach Sam's boat, you see two guys basically pushing him onto his little boat, his little cruiser, and they both have pistols, and they've got him. They're pushing him down. It looks like they're telling him to get this boat going. And there's two guys, and they're dressed in some kind of foreign-looking clothes. But they are holding some kind of handheld device on this guy, Sam, and they look like they're trying.
Well, thankfully, I'm still. I mean, after all this went down, and I'm all points bulletin out for me. That the gun I lifted, whatever, is going to come in handy, right? Especially with the money I'm carrying on me. So I see this. I'm gonna get over there as fast as possible. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
I'm gonna pull out and try to pull a weapon on them to counteract what they're doing.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Without even thinking about it, I'm going after my pistol and just like, hey, you, getting their attention.
Yeah, that's easy enough. They look up, and at this point, now you realize they're not quite humanoid. Right, they're in some kind of uniform you don't recognize. They've got a slightly different shaped skull. Their eyes are large but narrow, and they're holding some kind of
best. But I've already got my gun pulled out and drawn and on the scene. And hey, you! And when they turn around and look at me, I'm like. Let him go.
You hear them speak to each other in a foreign, some kind of foreign beeps and squeaks, and one of them slowly, almost like the heat of the day. We see the heat rays that rise off you see him kind of phase in and out, and then suddenly he looks like Sam. And the one looking at you, and suddenly he looks like you. These two guys now, you're looking at Sam, who's being forced into the driver's seat of the boat, and one of them turns into Sam, one of them turns into you, right?
Well, all that shimmering stuff is going to have me like mental breaking and everything. And I already got my finger on the trigger, so I'm firing whenever I'm seeing the shimmering going on. Okay.
Make a roll. Make an action roll. Against 7. I'll just tell you the number.
That's 5.
Okay, so let's make a mojo check against the same number to make sure you don't hit Sam sitting in the boat.
That's 10.
Okay, so you don't seem to hit one of these guys, but fortunately, it looks like you didn't hit Sam either. One of them trains this device that he's got in his hands at you and fires back at you. So let's make a roll 7 again against your action. Now, excuse me, this would be against your guts.
Oh, you had to say guts.
Yeah,
It's 5.
5. Okay, so you are already wounded. So now you feel searing pain as this some kind of bolt of energy hits you, searing. It scorches a hole in your sloppy sweats from the gym, and you feel the searing, burning pain in the shoulder. You're now injured, so your left hand now drops kind of down and away. Your guts will drop to -1 as you've now suffered an injury, right? One
Gotcha.
more and you will be unconscious or dead. One more lethal injury.
I scream and I will. I got. Uh, I'm a southpaw. Okay,
Right.
so my gun drops out of my left hand as I hold my shoulder and I drop down on my knees. I'm screaming.
Okay.
And I'm trying to look at them shimmering as my eyes are watered up.
Right.
This has been a lot to take in. I think I slumped down and kind of collapsed on my, on the pier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of sitting there crumpled, kind of swaying back and forth, looking at them and then looking at my arm. I'm trying to stop maybe the blood. What does it look like? It's cauterized?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, there's no blood. It's like it went right through your clothes, right through your skin, into the bones, tissues. It feels almost like everything's been burned or melted together inside.
Fused together, kind of.
Right.
I don't really know what's going on here. You know what I
And,
mean? I've never been shot before.
Sam, you might just as you drop that and you look at him, Sam seeing this happen starts the boat. He's now fully terrified of this other creature that's holding the weapon on him. He starts his boat up, and he says, "It's okay, Jim. Don't worry about me." And the boat starts to rumble to life, and he starts pulling it away from the dock. However, you can see that he hadn't had a chance to untie the bow or the stern.
Oh, jeez.
So the boat's, he's trying to pull away, and the boat's tied to the pier.
Now, were they on the boat with him?
Yeah, they forced him onto his boat.
Are they jostled about, or
Right.
what are they?
Yeah, I mean they're certainly all of those things. Yeah.
It's gonna take me a minute to get my bearings, and while I see him tied, like he tried to pull away, so he's pulling against the pier.
Right.
Obviously. I look over my shoulder and listening for sirens, listening for those police cars that's going, and I start reaching for my gun again.
Okay.
With
the right hand. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's going to take me a second to do that because I know I'm just discombobulated. You know what I mean?
Right. And you're not quite certain where the patrol car was that you saw coming toward the trailer. You don't know if they've seen or heard any of this. You can't really pick up what's going on behind you. You do see as the boat jars and they stumble about a little bit, one of these creatures, again, looks just like you. He's face changed or disguised himself to look just like you. He aims his weapon at the the tie, the stern and bow tie, and shoots one of them, blows the pier all to hell, cutting loose the stern. And the boat now is ass in, slides out. Let's make a mojo check to see if these creatures aren't knocked off their feet.
It's 7.
Okay, so the one who blows the dock free, he's anticipating this because he's shooting it. So he stays on his feet, but the other one stumbles left and out of the boat. The one that looks like Sam out of the boat. Sam's now driving the boat, but the bow of the boat is still affixed. And eventually he'll pull loose as he puts it into reverse. You can see smoke as the engine perts and pops and bangs as he's trying to back this boat up, pulling loose the bow. And one of these creatures that had face changed to look like Sam fell into the ocean.
Oh man. I'm struggling to stand up again. I've got the gun back in my hand. I will stand there and look right down the sights and try to aim. I know that boat's moving everywhere which way.
Right.
And it's the last desperate attempt at the one that's standing there.
Yep. Now at this point, the difficulty is much higher. You're wounded.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it's moving. So we're talking a 10. It was 7. It's going to be about a 10 and up. Right. Yeah. Remember, you're adding your action to the roll.
Yeah. 2. Oh man, 9.
Okay. So make a roll to make sure you didn't hit Sam. Right, 7 and up for Sam.
12.
Okay, so Sam.
Nat 12.
Luckily, now that's a 12. That's a critical.
Yeah.
So, let's think about that. So that's a critical, not hitting Sam. You didn't hit him. You didn't hit Sam, but maybe you hit something else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Uh, I might hit the control panel, or but I don't want to be writer's room. You know what I mean? That kind
No,
of thing.
but something that again affects the what? The piloting of the ship, the boat, the engine. What?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm trying to aim toward the guy and he's at the bow, he's at the end at the stern
Well,
of the boat, right?
he's with Sam. He's the one that forced Sam into the seat to drive the boat.
Okay.
So he's right by the the control panel, the steering mechanism. He's standing over. Oh no, he fell out. Excuse me. You're right. The one at the
Yeah.
stern of the boat. The one at the stern of the boat's the only one left in the boat. You're right. I forgot. Right.
Okay. Yeah. If I was aiming toward him, the most logical place would be to hit the engine.
Yeah.
Or so.
Bingo. That's what we're talking
The
about.
gas
right.
line on the engine. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's make. That's pretty serious. Let's make a. Yeah, we're gonna have to make another mojo check to see if you blow this engine up. Right.
Okay. That's 10 with 2 is 12.
Okay, so it hits, and you see the spark of it and it starts to burn, sputter, and then of course catch fire.
Okay.
It's smoking like hell now.
Yeah, the smoke's going to be obscuring everything, and the boat's just like that. I want to get down, work my way closer if I can, always looking over my shoulder.
Okay.
Hopefully the sound is attracting some police or something like that, or anybody that may be out there. I'm shouting, we need help here. We need help here.
Okay, you hear behind you somebody call out, hands in the air. You can hear them behind you like they're coming towards you, but they're still distant. Hands in the air. As you're moving toward the direction you're going, you also see the creature that fell out of the boat is climbing onto the pier, and his phasing in and out. He looks like Sam, then he looks like his alien self.
I immediately dropped.
Looks like Sam, and now he's up. Oh, he doesn't have anything in his hands. He dropped his weapon into the ocean.
Oh, but me, whenever they're telling me that,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do, because I drop it and then raise my hands up, right?
Okay.
And then I go down to my knees.
Okay.
And I'll say, look, the boat.
Right.
They've taken Sam hostage.
Yep. And as you say that,
trying to get away.
The engine goes, blowing the ass end of the boat off, and the other alien creature into the air and into the ocean somewhere. Sam, of course, forward as the boat now is burning on the ass end. The other alien creature now standing wet on the dock, completely now his normal, alien features. His whatever device he was using to look like Sam is malfunctioning. As you feel somebody immediately hit you in the back, put you face down, wrench your left injured shoulder as they handcuff you. Right.
I scream and I'm trying to say, look at that horror on the pier.
And somebody steps.
And my eyes are just wide and looking directly at it.
On your right, of course, when that blows, one police officer pushes you down, is cuffing you. The other one steps over you, and he's talking to this creature that standing there. You couldn't quite tell how big these creatures were until the cop gets closer, and you realize this guy's like 7 feet tall. Harder to tell originally, but now that you're starting to get perspective as this cop approaches this creature, and he's barking and yelling. The creature, of course, can't understand him. As he stands on the pier, they kind of face off on the pier while you're being cuffed by some cop on the left side.
And I'm just pleading with them as they're cuffing me, like, and they can obviously see the damage or whatever. Like, my arm, the thing shot me. Right. Check, make sure Sam, he's on the boat. The boat's on fire.
Right.
Look at that creature, the horror. I'll be repeating that kind of thing like that.
Right.
It shot me.
You see the other police officer at some point exasperated that this creature won't do what he says, and you see him fire 2 or 3 shots directly into this creature on the pier. He stumbles back, taking 3 or 4 shots directly to the torso, and stumbles back into the ocean, falls off the dock into the ocean. Then he looks around. Sam is crawling on the bow and onto the wharf to get away from the boat that's burning, and stands up. The cop pulls him over, and the cop with Sam come toward you as the other cop's picking you up, getting you on your feet, and we'll fade to black right there.
Jeez, wow.
Now, you know what's cool about that? So, of course, major dilemmas, there's UFOs have been seen, right? That's our major dilemma. Heat wave, inciting incident, mob was harassing your boxer, right? That's how we start. The first one I rolled was witness a crime, right? And I said, well, I don't know where I'm going to introduce witness a crime. Then the second one I rolled was fire, right? That was when you were in the office. I rolled fire. So I said, okay, there's a fire here, right? So it blows in, and the crime is basically when you went to see Jerry, the crime was they were extorting Jerry for gambling debts. That was the crime you witnessed. So I had witnessed crime. That was when you went to the diner to talk to Jerry. You witnessed that crime. The fire then started during that scene, and that blew the windows in, and then I rolled, and then you said you were going home. My next roll was accused of a crime, right? So basically I said, this is perfect. It's like somebody's accusing you of starting the fire, basically, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, how did they...
I rolled was hostage situation. And I said, well, that'll be Sam. You invented Sam. You're going to go to the boat to get Sam. So who took Sam hostage? The aliens that crashed their ship into the building that caught fire. I'm literally going, okay, so who would have taken hostage? Oh, they're aliens that crashed their ship into the fire or the building that you have been accused of starting, right? Because
I know,
right?
That's what I'm saying. It all works out
because these
just like
aliens can look like you or can look like Sam, or so I was just trying to make sense of everything I roll, right?
That's what I'm saying. When you're sitting there as a presenter, things just present themselves. Ironically enough,
so we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 seeds in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I made sense of. I had to make sense of all of them on the fly. And it doesn't matter if we learn why you were accused of the crime. You may never learn why you were accused of it.
I know. From my perspective, the whole thing about UFOs was nothing but the media. Probably from the Orson Welles spinoff, and I'm going like, it irritated me as a boxer promoter because it's taken away real estate, like page real estate about my boxing matches. It's hitting my purse. You know what I mean? It's sensationalism. It's bull crap. So I'm irritated with that. And I'm irritated with the old boy because I'm 61 years in the game. You know what I mean? And some young people was trying to come around and take more money out of my pocket. This was my mindset with the whole deal, right? You instigated that by saying UFOs. I'm like, that's bull crap. He's coming in taking more money, which makes me immediately more irritated with the guys trying to step in on my cut. You know what I mean? Because I know the game. I'm irritated at the boy for buying into it all. And he's like, my girl. And I'm like, they're a dime a dozen. No pun on the dimes, you know? And then, so this is really the mindset that I've gotten into playing that character. It feeds. That's what I'm saying.
In a very short time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We feed off of each other. So I'm sitting there going like, and I'm telling you, right when he says, okay, me, and that was the first thing that happened. Wait a minute, they're trying to pin this thing on me? Oh boy, he really must want me, you know, I'm already thorn in his side. He wants me out of the picture so he can take my boy. So it's central to my character what his motivations are. So
that's my point. So we don't know the truth, but Tommy Condolato could have started the fire and blamed you.
But they got me over. That's what I was thinking.
Leroy in the back of the car could have said that dude just blew up, the office, and that's the guy you want. However, I just happen to think, dude, I've got to deal with this hostage situation. Who would these people be? Oh, they're aliens who just crashed a UFO into the,
But see, that's perfect for me because I'm playing my character,
Yep.
and my motivation as my character is
Yep.
immediate, and I have to resolve
Yep.
it because I'm sitting there like I'm in bewilderment. How are
Right.
they trying to pin this on me?
Yeah.
They've already
Right.
it might be dirty cops. They're trying
Yep.
to pin it on me. It looks just like me.
Yep.
They've given some is the boy that was
Right.
what happened?
Yep.
I'm already at home. I'm like, take my
and
money.
meanwhile, I, as the naive presenter, are trying to make sense. Right.
I'm just like, look,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to my daughter in the longest time, but maybe I can hide her out if I can convince her to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've already stated
you were already
that I'm
planning
drinking.
how you're going to survive and escape. Yeah, you were already moving live into the next frame of mind. How do I get out?
Yeah, maybe I can get that freaking Sam, and he can take me across the freaking the bay to get the old girl's house to try to hide out because obviously he's got me over a barrel. They've already pinned me for this,
and it doesn't matter.
Thinking, screw Jerry,
and this is what I mean by being naive. It doesn't matter what actually started the fire.
Yeah.
All that matters is now, if we play session 2, your character is going to be questioned by the police. They're going to discover that it wasn't you to set the fire. You may learn that. You may still think Tommy Condolato started it and pinned it on you.
Yeah.
Right? And your character is going to pursue whatever avenue of resolution. Meanwhile,
I've just had a close encounter, and I can't even freaking rectify what it is. You know, that horror on the beach. I mean, on the pier. Shoot it. It's not me. We're dealing with something totally different. Look at my freaking arm, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So this definitely a weird.
And we did that, what, an hour? Was that an hour? 45 minutes? That was fun.
Yeah, I don't think it was an hour, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You could do this without having like 85 minutes of, excessive mechanical.
And now we know who your character is. I mean, again, what's cool about this particular version, we're not going to call it Hard Boiled. That was what I was calling it. But I think there's another game out there called Hard Boiled. So I don't know what we'll call this version, but slightly different attributes and how they're used. We now allow players to pick from a certain categories of. They get to pick 3 categories out of these 5 of something they have, and so you actually had the things you had was boxing. Let's see here, trailer, and a 34-year-old daughter. Those were your 3 things you had. The other things were what you get if you don't pick something: public transportation, sloppy clothes, because your character didn't choose one of those 3 things. But you had the contact your daughter, you had the skill of boxing, and you had the trailer as your home, your residence, right? Which is required to heal and to rest and to hide out. So there's a reason in the rules why you would choose a house over.
Oh, dude, but it's so beautiful because I said, the freaking cop, he knows me. He's been around here earlier because I looked for him, and all of a sudden you're like, they got an APB out on me, and I'm like, oh my God, oh boy knows where I live. But maybe I can at least tell him I didn't do squat. But then again,
but look how fast your character's grounded in the world by the character generation.
Yeah.
Right. You would pick your points and put them in your thing. So you get to pick 3 pieces of these 5, and your character's instantly grounded based on the 3 things you would want, and then quickly do a background right up. Your character's instantly grounded in the fiction. I know what your character's got a little bit, what your character's about. I've got the session set up with the dilemma, the inciting incident, the setup, the random C chart, and dude, we're going, man. Then, of course, it just builds momentum. I mean, the next session, maybe you're just coming out of the police as they've questioned you and they've doctored you and they've let you go. Exactly. You can start with us just you're back at your trailer going, what the fuck happened, right? Or session 2 can be, or you can be grilled by the cops, however I set the setting and the inciting incident of session 2. Right? Yeah,
it's easy as that. Like I said, you're not carrying all that mechanical weight on you. This hampering play.
Yep.
I mean, unnecessarily so, because a lot of this stuff is so intuitive. Right. We don't have to quantify it with mechanics.
That's right.
Let's just roll.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. And of course, we only have 4 attributes, so you're going to use them a lot. You're going to use mojo a lot, action a lot, guts and wits.
It's just what you lean on. You know what I mean? I got the fist, the skill. Okay, I can box.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh boy, standing in front of me, he's freaking cocksure.
Yep.
He, my leverage is that he thinks I'm an old dude. He doesn't know me.
Right.
So he's going to be a little bit surprised whenever I uppercut him. Right. And then try to do that. So that's my thinking, which seems logical. Like I said, you want to play that character earnestly as to what the situation is, and whatever. I'm facing a young dude. He's cocksure. I'll give him an uppercut. You
Right.
know, I don't like his mouth. He's
Right.
standing in front of me. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get the Jerry. I already know freaking Leroy. The
Right.
real problem is in there.
Right. The only thing we did wrong. So when NPCs get attacked and you succeed, they automatically suffer the next thing. Right?
Yeah.
They don't. But you're supposed to get a guts check to avoid the damage, and I forgot to do that. When you took damage, you took damage. You should have had a guts check. So, for instance, when the guy grabs your arm, there should have been a guts check for you to avoid that pain. When the thing blew up, there should have been a guts check for you to avoid the next step up to wounded or crippled. And then when you were shot on the pier, there should have been a guts check to keep that at wounded. So they don't attack you. You use guts to avoid the injury, the further injury, because there's only 4 steps before you're dead or unconscious. So you would always use guts to try to avoid that next wound up.
Or if it's a boxer, I could call it chin, basically.
Whatever, right. Doesn't make any difference, right. And then how you would negotiate that is, you were shot, but it didn't cripple you. If you make the guts check, if you fail the guts check, you're crippled, which means you got one more before you die, right?
Gotcha.
So we could even narrate that you got shot, but it didn't change your wounded condition. The next time you're shot and you make the guts check, we just narrate how you're wounded again, but you don't die. But if you fail that, your next phase would be wounded. So every time you're wounded, lethal or non-lethal, you have to make a guts check to stay where you're at, basically.
Yeah, so that's offset it, basically.
So that's the thing I forgot to do. I kept, when something happened.
You think guts should be from offsetting it from a lethal to a non-lethal?
No, guts just saves you from the next level of wound.
Gotcha.
So the reason for that is if we have a non-lethal fist fight, I'm imagining a Bourne Identity fist fight with an assassin in an apartment.
Yeah.
Right? And we could end up with this long, unbelievable fist fight in which your character can keep just dodging the next level of injury by making a guts check. Yeah. So imagine those frenetic fights where he grabs a pencil and he drives it. He's trying to stab you in the face with a pencil, and somehow last second you take the pencil in the hand instead of the face, right? Yeah. But we're still having this fight, right? So you can have these kind of grueling
counter
as you keep avoiding damage. You might take damage narratively, but it won't actually progress your character to unconscious or dead.
Gotcha.
So that's
like a saving grace in a way.
Instead of your health score where your health just goes down until you die.
It offsets the danger from more of an immediate situation to peripheral.
Right.
Like you say, from the hand
to whatever. It could lead to combats going quickly or could take a long time as you narrate what you're doing. Right.
Well, it's still this narrative juice because, like you said, you got to narrate how it affected you still without being critical to a point, and then it will further in that wake of that. How you're supposed to use your hand. If you got a pistol stuck in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, naturally, like when I got shot, I said, "Well, I'm a southpaw. I dropped the freaking weapon." You know what I mean? And then crumpled out. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" It just hit me, and then I got to. You slump down. So that's what I'm saying in this game. When you're going at this pace, you're going to play authentically because you can see it. It's not like we got to stop and say, "Where was I?
Right.
What was 10 minutes ago? What happened?"
Right.
I'm like, no, this makes sense to happen right now in the moment, and we don't interrupt that moment of play for everybody at the table to freaking go like, "Wait a minute, we got 35 rolls to do amongst everybody to see what happens."
Right.
I mean, it can work in one aspect, but really, do we really?
And like. My accounting for the boat still being tied up, right? Yeah. Why did I have the bow and the stern of the boat still tied? Because when I first introduced the hostage situation, I only described that they were forcing Sam into his boat. I never described that they were untying the boat. So I had to be honest and not then make the boat just untie.
Exactly. And then it's a realization. What if the boat's tied up? They're going to get on the boat.
Fiat, it looks like Fiat said the boat was tied down. Well, because I introduced the hostage situation to your friend Sam the way I described it. Now, I could have described it. It looks like Sam's untying his boat, and a couple of guys got guns on him. I could have described that. Boat's now untied, but they're not in the boat. So
it keeps us honest,
right,
on both
it
sides.
actually, as a naive narrator, I'm thinking, okay, I haven't described that they untied the boat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that just created a complication by me being honest that the boat was still tied down.
Yeah, and tied down from both sides. I'm like, okay, they're wanting to get on the boat, and then one of them's got to let go. And maybe those creatures didn't really realize what needed to be happening. And oh boy,
they're aliens. I had in my head said, who's taking him hostage? And I said, oh, the fire started by the UFOs that you've been hearing about on the radio.
I know, I love those moments.
They escaped the crash, turned into you. You know, they saw you maybe go into the diner or something and used your. So somebody reported that you left the building. You know, so I'm just in my head very quickly trying to make sense of how did the fire start? Who are these guys taking hostages? Right.
It's like the A-Team when
that's what I mean by
I
in
love
our
it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. In our game, the presenter's as much a player as the players, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to make sense.
Everybody at the table's doing it honestly. They're not trying to bullcrap, whether they're playing a specific player or
so
representing.
I'm finding out basically at the same time I'm trying to explain what this is going to look like.
It's like charades.
It's almost like charades where I'm making signals and shit, and 2 words, 3 syllables, but I can't quite tell you what I know. But I don't know what you're gonna say. You could say cribbage, and I'll go, no, it's not cribbage. It's whatever. But I mean, it feels very. I mean, I'm a player. I get to be a player as the presenter.
Yeah, and you have those aha moments. I love those, Dean. Like you said, oh, they crash into the building, and it's an awareness, and you go, dang. And it's like it's just gifted to you out of the heavens. And
I mean, your character's thinking, son of a bitch, they set me up for the fire. I'm thinking, how did the fire start? Oh, the hostages are like, aliens. Whatever. They must have come from the wrecked aircraft, And then later in this next session, I could describe on the radio how people described an unidentified flying object crashing into the building that caught fire. And then your character would say, fucking A, it was UFO, right? Or never answer it at all. Just, you would be hunting down Tommy Condolano thinking he set you up. Which is what people do. Beautiful. We're naive, right?
Yeah.
When you go,
I can only base
in the morning, you're naive. You don't know if you're gonna have a flat tire or wreck your car. Or,
But Bo, you never meta this.
No.
Because it's so enjoyable playing from the perspective of knowledge that the freaking player character has.
Yeah.
And you go like, because I loved it. How in the hell did they set me up? I wasn't thinking what's going on in Jason's mind, and I'm going strictly from I was thinking that, and I was like, my situation is compromised. I got to get the hell out of here because that cop.
I rolled accused of a crime, and I went, "Oh shit! He just left the scene of a crime. He just left the fire, right? It makes sense."
And I go home and say, like, I'm listening to the news. I'm paranoid that these freaking cops going to show up. What the heck?
When you said you turn on the radio, I said, "Oh shit!"
I know.
And now I can tell him he's been accused of a crime because I thought if not, I figured the cops would show up and bang on your door in the middle of the night and rouse you and say you're under arrest for starting a fire.
But see,
but
both
when you
of
said
us
you
work
turned
together.
On the radio, I went, okay, this is my way that I can foreshadow he's in trouble.
Yeah, you're like, those moments when you're playing, it's like, this is just falling together. It's like we're witnessing it and just watching something naturally, organically evolve.
When you
feel radio, like your hands are off the wheel. So
I was able to warn you, right.
Yeah. But you feel like your hands are off the wheel. Yeah. And
you're
like
asking
on a roller coaster.
Presenters and players to play very honestly, too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful freaking thing.
Because the only way I could have introduced you were accused of a crime by a neighbor banging on your door saying, dude, they just described you in the radio, I could have warned you that way, or I could have literally had the cops just show up and take you into custody.
Take you downtown.
And when you said I turned on the radio, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. He's going to hear this news bulletin about the fire and that they're looking for a guy that looks just like you.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to get out of Dodge.
It is
Maybe I can get across the bay.
We are forced to think, like improvisational acting, we're forced to think about everything on the fly.
But honestly, those are the moments that you remember in all these games, the stuff that is unscripted.
Yep.
This is not coerced in any kind of way. It just evolves.
And that's why I think Brian got it, because Brian's done improvisational acting classes. I've done them. So people who have had experience with improv, where somebody just says to you, you're 2 men lost on an island, go. You start improvising.
Yeah.
What would two men on an island do, be, say, etc. In
Yeah.
a way, this is improvisational.
We feed off it.
role-playing.
Exactly. And we're feeding off each other. I love the way it does it. And it's so unique to be the presenter, just doing everything. And the overarching what's going on in the world. And you're putting those together. It's a beautiful thing. You just go, and you're surprised by it.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Constantly.
Well, and I'm literally thinking hostage.
Like I could have never put that
together. Hostage situation. And then when you said, well, I'm going to go talk to Sam about a boat, I said, there's my hostage.
Yeah.
You just gave me Sam. He's my hostage. But who's taking him hostage? And then I went, oh my, and it's funny how your mind, you'll just start following wherever the thread leads you.
Where it leads. Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great.
It's awesome. All right, brother, we're about to do dinner and a movie, so I'm going to have to let you go. That was fun.
So are we, man. So are we. Good talk. Great
brother.
game.
I'll be in touch with you over the next couple of days.
All right.
Thanks,
Sounds good, man.
Late.
You have a good evening. Bye-bye.